Firewall filters, also called access control lists, provide rules that define whether to accept or reject packets that are crossing an interface. Now, you can configure a firewall filter that determines whether the packet is accepted, rejected, or just discarded before it enters or exits an interface. The reject action will deny a packet, but it's going to send back an ICMP, like a ... response, whereas the discard action will deny a packet just like a ninja, silently, with no notification. An ingress or input filter affects packets entering an interface, and if you've got an egress or an output filter, that determines what happens when a packet exits that interface. So how do we actually create a firewall filter?
If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing, as 86% of viewers aren't currently subscribed.
Now, you could define a firewall filter by defining the address type, which is like the Ethernet switching, which is the layer 2 family, or INET, which is IP version 4, INET 6, which is IP version 6, and others as well. And then you could define the filtering terms and the action it's going to take if the term matches. And it's going to pass through the firewall filter in order, matching on the first term that it finds. Now, how do we configure a firewall filter? You can configure, as I said previously, by the address type, and then you use a filter name, then you're going to use a term name or number, and at least one match condition. And the closer to the source, the better. Let me just give you an example of that. In our lab here, we want to prevent user C from contacting user A by using user A's source MAC address. However, user B should still have accessibility and reachability to user A. Where are we going to apply our firewall filter, and in which direction? Well, as we only want to prevent user C, then XE003 is closest to the source. So a layer 2 firewall filter applied to interface XE003 in the outgoing direction, so it's coming out of XE003, is going to be where we're going to place our filter. What if we wanted to prevent any devices from reaching user A? Then this switches it up a bit. So we're going to place a layer 2 firewall filter applied to the XE001 interface closest to user A on the incoming direction. And that's where we're going to place our filter. A stateful firewall filter keeps track of the state of network connections and session information to make decisions, whereas a stateless firewall filter just looks at the packet contents and doesn't inspect traffic flows. These are the firewall filters that we are going to be using, stateless firewall filters, and they actually operate on the data plane. We're going to do 2 firewall filters here. We saw in the DHCP snooping lab that you could do a firewall filter based on port number. Here we're going to do it on the layer 2 MAC address initially. So let's have a look at our lab. We've got user A, user B, and user C. They should all have reachability to each other. Let's just verify that. That's pinging user B from user A, and that's user C. Excellent. And what we're going to do initially, we're going to stop user C from being able to ping user A using its MAC address, but user B will still have reachability. So let's jump onto the switch now. And how we're going to do that, we're going to set up a firewall filter. If I say edit firewall filter for the family Ethernet switching family, and the filter, the name of the filter is deny user A from, we need to set a term. Now the term can be a name or a number. Let's do a name at first. So term no access, and from the term no access, we're going to, I wonder if I could do it from here, find the MAC address, run show Ethernet switching table, and we're trying to deny this MAC address. So let's say set from source MAC address. of this. Yeah. Then set then discard. Now we know that there's an implicit deny at the end of every firewall rule, so we need to make sure that we can accept every other kind of traffic. And to do that, we'll set a new term. If I say up, set term, allow everything else. Oh, I need the hyphen. Allow everything will do. Then accept. Let's do a show compare. So we have our firewall rule set under the layer 2 switching family. The filter is called deny user A. We have a term. This could be a number or a name. From, or basically anything accessing this MAC address, we're going to drop, and we're going to allow everything else. Now, before I apply this, let me just open up user C and do a continuous ping. Ping 192.168.0.1 minus T. That has reachability at the moment, so let's do a commit. Let's do a commit whilst watching our continuous ping. Move the screen down a bit like this. Okay, commit. And nothing happened. And the reason why nothing happened is because I haven't applied it to the interface. So I will apply it to the interface XE003 in the outgoing direction. It's XE003.0 family Ethernet switching. Set filter in the outgoing direction, and the filter name is deny user A. Now let's commit. And there we see that the pings have stopped. That's excellent. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to roll that back, roll back one, get those pings going again. Yeah, those pings are going again, and we're going to try it now where we deny user C and B from accessing user A. And we're going to do that through a different firewall filter. So edit, firewall, family Ethernet switching, filter, and the filter is going to be don't touch me, which is basically user A saying that nothing's going to be allowed to ping it. Don't touch. Oh, it'd be good if I could spell. Don't touch me. Term. No, we're going to use numbered terms here. So the first one is going to be the deny, and the second one is going to be allow everything else. So term 1 from same source MAC address. Source MAC address of this. Term 1, so we want 1, 2, up to maybe, up to, from, let's say, up again one more time. Set then discard, and then we say up again one more time from filter don't touch me. We're going to set a different term, term 2, and the term 2 is going to accept everything else. Then accept, Then we need to apply it to the interface, and we're going to apply it this time to the, let's have a look at our lab diagram. We're going to apply it on the incoming direction on XE001. Top edit interface XE001.0 for the family Ethernet switching. Set the filter input. The filter name is Don't Touch Me. Now let's commit that, and we should see the ping stop. And the pings have stopped. And let's also check the pings from user B. .1. And user B is no longer able to ping user A either, which is what we're expecting. So again, let's do a rollback on that. Rollback 1. Let's commit that. Make sure that we have reachability. And we do. We have reachability. And does user C also have reachability? Yep, those pings are still going. So the last one, what we're going to do it on a layer 3 filter. Or basically, we're going to filter on the IP address. So I think user B was feeling a bit left out in this. So we're going to deny user B from being contacted by either user C or user A. So let's stop this ping and do a continuous ping to user B's address. And let's get into the firewall filter. Set firewall family Ethernet switching filter. Stop user B. I'm going to use numbered terms. So I'll say term 1 from 192.168.0.2/24. Okay. I didn't put, so this must be from the source address. The source. No. Let's say from where? From IP source address, sorry. So from IP source address of 192.168.0.2/24. Then discard. And the second term is to allow everything else. Then accept. We're going to apply that to the interface. Edit interface XE002.0 family Ethernet switching. Set filter on the input direction closest to user B. And the filter is called Stop User B. Let's commit that. Edit firewall family Ethernet switching term has non-zero bits where bits in mask are 0. Okay, let's see if we can change that. So if I top and have a look at the firewall filter, show firewall family Ethernet switching filter. Stop user B. Let's have a look at this. What have I done wrong? Term 1. Okay, let me see if I could change this. Display set. I think if I just take this and just 192.168.0.2 without the /24 on the end. Okay, and I'm going to delete the top one. Let me say show compare. Let's do a commit check on that. Alright, and let's commit that. And we see that the pings have stopped. That's excellent. And last check I will do, I'll check from user A to make sure that user A can also not ping user B. And that also doesn't have reachability. Thanks for watching this lab, and we'll see you in the next one.
It's question time. Question 1. What is the primary purpose of firewall filters on Juniper devices? A. To regulate and control traffic based on defined rules, allowing or blocking specific packets. B. To boost network performance by compressing data packets before transmission. C. To automatically update antivirus signatures for real-time threat prevention. D. To encrypt all outbound traffic for enhanced security. The answer is A. Question 2. Which of the following statements accurately describes the processing order of firewall filters on Juniper devices? A. Firewall filters are processed in a random order to enhance security unpredictability. B. Firewall filters are applied in the order they are configured, from top to bottom, and the first matching rule is executed. C. Firewall filters are processed alphabetically based on their names, ensuring a consistent rule application. D. Firewall filters are dynamically adjusted based on real-time network traffic, adapting to changing conditions. The answer is B. Question 3. What is a common use case for applying firewall filters on Juniper devices? A. Enhancing wireless network signal strength. B. Managing quality of service, QoS, for voice and video traffic. C. Restricting access to specific network services or applications. D. Automatically updating firmware for network devices. The answer is C. One of the common use cases for firewall filters on Juniper devices is to control and restrict access to specific network services or applications based on defined rules. This helps in enforcing security policies and controlling traffic flow. To get the complete question banks for all the JNCISENT videos, drop us an email at info@rittercoach.com.